Dr. Haruo Takeda.
Our motivation of talking today here is on water is that the water infrastructure of Japan is one of the best in the world in terms of drinkable tap water everywhere in the nation, the highest number of inspection items, the lowest leakage rate, or lowest non-revenue water ratio. And Hitachi started water business more than 100 years ago. I read some reports on water in India. For example, a World Bank report on water predicts a substantial decline of water supply in India. World Health Organization often points out the problem of fluorine and arsenic. Thank you very much.
Dr. Atsushi Masuko.
Today, I would like to share with you our experience of water supply management in Tokyo. Drinking tap water is a part of Japanese culture, which is reflected by safe water and social safety in preceding ages. We should not lose it and sustain it for the future.
Hello and welcome to Social Innovations as we try find solutions for the future of India. Now the topic of our discussion today is a rather simple one, but one which is absolutely critical as it is directly connected to all our lives. Just imagine, just 50 years ago in 1950 or so, India was a water-rich country. But today, how is it that India has become a water insecure nation? What really happened and what are our biggest challenges that we face today? Do we have social innovations front of us? Do we have any idea as to how India can ensure that every citizen does have access to clean and potable drinking water? And joining us to debate all of that, we have a very, very eminent panel joining us here in Mumbai. We also have, joining us from New Delhi, Amitabh Kant, who is the Secretary, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. So if you can set the stage for us, how grave is the issue of water shortage in India, and are we in any way prepared? Our governments in India, are they taking this seriously, political parties, governments?
To my mind, water is going to be the most severe challenge which will confront India. If India is to grow at rates of 9 to 10% per annum, if India is to urbanize, and if in the coming years we are going to get 500 million people into the process of urbanization, if we are talking about a very innovative and sustainable approach to urbanization, India needs to confront the challenge of water. And to my mind, there are a couple of very key issues. One is, firstly, we must learn the art of pricing water. Water is a scarce commodity. It is an economic good. And unless and until Indians do not pay for water they use, there will be a lot of wasteful, a huge amount of water will get wasted in India. Secondly, in India, 82% of our water resources go into agriculture. Because we don't price it properly, we are wasting water in agriculture to an extent that it's leading to pollution, it's leading to poisoning at ground levels. And therefore, I think we need to manage water for agriculture in a far more efficient manner. The third point I want to make is that in the water sector, India must learn the art of innovation. It must get into the art of recycling water. Industry must use every drop of water in its cycle of industrialization. And therefore, India must do several things. It must use rainwater, it must use dual piping system, it must use treated water, and industry must use every drop of water in its process of manufacturing. I think there are huge lessons to be learned, particularly from Singapore, and I think this alone, if we are able to treat water as an economic good, this will enable us to work out the right management strategy to tackle our challenges of water.
you deal with a very important department in Maharashtra, water resources. We have heard of the irrigation scam, which is very closely connected with droughts in Maharashtra, which perennially hit especially the regions of Marathwada and Vidarbha. He's talking about the Singapore model and many other models which there are. Why is it that our governments can't really act on these models, because they're all well known?
Let me first of all set out the background. India is home to 16% of the population, but we have only 4% of the world's water resources. Between 1955 and 1990, the demand for water went up by 50%, and it's likely to go up by another 50% in the next 20 years, maybe even by 2025. Against this, the supply is actually reducing, and the per capita availability of fresh water is expected to decrease by another 50% in the next 10 to 15 years. So, given this background, is India a water scarce country? Yes and no. There's sufficient water except for certain pockets, but the management of water, especially the demand management for water.
I believe that India has water. We are blessed with sufficient rainfall, especially in parts of India. We have rivers which are overflowing after monsoons, but the water goes down to the sea. Basically, we are not able to get the water where it is required in the right quantity at the right price. This is our problem. So basically, it's the water management is our problem. Just give you a small example. In Gujarat, 10 years ago, the farmers were pumping water from bore wells. Right. Most of the farmers were doing, and water and the electricity was practically free. We were running out of groundwater. Our Prime Minister, who was our Chief Minister then, he had a novel incentive scheme for farmers. He said, we are now at a situation, and he could communicate this to the farmers very well, that you will get no water. You will have no water. And we will have a famine in Gujarat. If you want water, you pay me a certain amount for this electricity, and the canal water will be metered. Those were effectively implemented in Gujarat. Now Gujarat is perhaps the only state with maximum number of metered connections to farmers. And the canal water is also being metered to the farmers. That has resulted in a lot of the farmers becoming very conservative about the use of water, about the wastage of water, and also perhaps, I don't have the exact statistics, but a huge number of drip irrigation and micro irrigation systems have been installed in Gujarat. This all helps us to conserve agricultural water.